Hello and welcome back. Last time we set up batteries and here we are at batteries. That shook out a number of bugs in a number of other builds. I found a couple of missing inserters in the sulfuric acid build that meant that the iron plates train got jammed because two of its carriages didn't unload. I found in the high-tech science build that we hadn't actually renamed the stations for bringing in Logibots and power and fuel. Great. Right, and we've got trains here, but they're not buffered up fully, right? So they're at the other end. Here we are. This one's filling up, and it's got 12k, which is not rubbish. But we have a train of green circuits coming in. We don't have a train of red circuits stacked up. If you look here, the red circuits, there's a train filling, and this is backed up. It is waiting for plastic, I think. Yeah, it's waiting on plastic. If we go to the plastic build, right, we have two trains waiting to fill up. We have coal and petroleum waiting to come off. Petroleum here, this petroleum train. Now, this has not fully unloaded. The site is switched off, so it can't fully unload. But this stacker is the wrong size, look. This train doesn't fit, and it's because of this chain signal. And that chain signal is necessary to access the this set of stations here. So I think we're going to have to head over plastic to figure out what's going on. And then once we've done that, do I have any fuel? Yep, I do. Right, so let's go to plastic packs. Yeah, check that's the right way. Plus plastic packs. Circuit condition, go! Okay, we need to get that train in, because at the moment that's blocking up the entire build. It's actually got to the point where this whole setup is complicated enough that it's now easier to travel by rail to places than it is to walk across the map. Okay, so the issue is this fluid wagon. It's not getting past this signal, which is the one that allows the other stackers to be used. And it's not getting past because okay, is that far enough? Yes, that is far enough. Great. So now all the other trains can stack up, and that train can get in to collect to collect plastic. That train can get in to sit behind it. Great. And now our stacker is empty. We are picking up plastic. In a minute, the plastic we have picked up will deplete the supply of plastic sufficiently. And I just want to check that these chests are buffered, are not arbitrarily buffered. I want to make sure that they're cat. Of course, to do that I have to get close, and to get close that means running between trains. Right. Because I've had some trouble with some of the builds where I forgot to... Yeah, these are capped, that's good. Okay. So fingers crossed in there. The other thing with this build, this needs to be powered independently of the back. However, we also need power poles. It's a bit of a chicken and egg problem there. I'll fix that off camera. It doesn't need fixing while you watch. There was another issue that we marked with a a Z, light oil, rocket fuel. Is rocket? Yeah, rocket fuel. So let's go to rocket fuel and fix that. I think it was something trivial. Right, that's our plastic out, which means the advanced circuits will now be being built, which means everything else will start moving. Okay, so plus, which one was it? It was rocket fuel packs, circuit condition, go. Right, what we're actually going to be doing this time is, I've got a feeling that the next big resource thing to deal with is the stone for making the furnaces for production science. Ah, yeah, it was a power pole we needed to move. Alright, so let's have a look here. Right. I think I'm going to strip out all the poles this side and then relay them all. I could filter deconstruct, but it's going to take me as long to set that up and check I haven't done it wrong as it is to actually strip them out manually. Okay, so that one's fine. Try again. Right, and I want to delete this one off because that's bridging the two power networks. Okay, so we've got an issue here with this pole and this pole. There. Okay, and then I've broken a green wire somewhere. So let's have a look. We've got green to here. Can I reach that over? Yeah, that's fine. Do I even need to go via the power pole? Let's see if I can go. I can. Great. Great. I don't like using power poles for stringing wires unless I have to. Okay, so that's that done. So that would have potentially meant that the solid fuel build didn't work. Alright, let's look for the crazy named station, the one I haven't renamed. Okay, that's going to be the one. And this is probably a candidate for one of the ones they're going to clean the name of when they do the 17 release or the final release. If you didn't know, they're planning to go through and strip out all the questionable names of entities before they do the final release. It's one of those things where it's sort of a shame, but also sort of understandable. Alright, so I've become here. So this site is either going to be bricks or is going to be bricks and furnaces. And I think what we need to do is look at a furnace build, see what's involved, and see whether it's going to be a win to do the smelting off-site or if we should do the smelting locally. Okay. I have a supply of stone, which is useful. So, I need assembly machines and I need furnaces. And stack of those. 5 stacks of those to be going with, and okay, 40 of those. That will do for now. Okay, so we have a furnace, and it is going to be full of stone, so that it's a brick furnace. Brilliant. And it's going to be productivity module. Then we're going to have an assembler. Let's give this a bit of space. This assembler is going to make electric furnaces, which have 3 inputs: bricks, steel, and red circuits. And this can be full of prop mods. It can't, because this is a final product. Okay, so we could speed mod it. I'm not going to at the moment. Okay, and then these would be beaconed, so I'm going to 12 beacon them. And we can use the close pack, because there's no fluids or pipes or anything going on. There we are. Okay, and for now we can power with poles. Okay, and in out, provider, cap the provider while I remembered 2 stacks. Okay, and then similarly requester. Right, and this is only going to be, we can only do some of the calculations when this is turned on. Okay, so you have to do the request setting when it's turned on. Okay. Let's turn it back on. I'm going to make use of the stone in my pocket to keep this thing backed up. Okay. Because it needs 2 units of stone to make 1 brick rather than 1. Alright, let's see if there's any more useful stones around here. Are there? The one time I actually want stones, I can't find any. That's frustrating. The problem is max rate calculator won't do calculations on something on a smelter which isn't currently burning, which isn't currently smelting. How bad is the damage there? It isn't. Okay. What's the best way to do this? I could travel to the quarry and fill my pockets with stone. I think I'm going to have to do that. Okay, this isn't quite how I was expecting this episode to go, but there you are. Right, so plus stone 2, circuit condition, plus, and this is still crazily named because we haven't decided what this site is actually going to do yet. Right, let's go to stone 2 packs. In the meantime, while we admire this beautiful rectangle of rail. I've been going back through the solar, doing more blueprinting. If you look down here, there's a gap which has now been landfilled, so we can place the solar blueprint down. There we go. Which is pretty cool. So that's all nicely done there. There's some cliffs we have removed, some cliffs we haven't removed. There we go. These cliffs can go. And the bots will just take care of this because they carry cliff explosives. I've got the cliff deconstruction mod installed. People complain about cliffs. That, you know, well, if you wanted a totally dull world, you'd just generate a world with no cliffs, with no rocks, with no decorations. It would just be a flat canvas to make things on, which is fair enough. I mean, if that's the way you want to go. I quite like all the little cliffs and waters and things like that. I think it adds a bit of variety to the map. However, they do take a bit of time to deal with. Okay, so hopefully we're heading up to the quarry. Yeah, up we come. Great. So what I'm going to do now is fill my boots with stone. And I'm going to turn off auto trash because otherwise... Okay, we have loads of stone. Good job I have places like this where I can just get stone. Right, leave the auto trash off for now. I'll turn it back on again when I realise my inventory is filling up with stone for no good reason. Okay, what else? Yeah, so I've placed down stamps here. There's a stamp off screen that we can't see that I put down manually. So that's probably a sign that we need more radar coverage, which I will sort out now. That's a good place for a radar, I think. There you are. That should give us the radar coverage we need to start filling in the rest of this area. And I'll put down a print here. There we go. And another one here. And that's it, I think. Right, and let's put in another radar halfway up here. I'm probably going to go back into creative mode at some point and redo my solar prints so that it has radars embedded, so that as you build a line of radar of solar, it brings into view the next area you need to build your next line in. I kind of boo-booed there. I built it in creative mode where you can see everything all the time. Yeah, live and learn. Okay, I'm going to leave that train there because from past experience I might need to jump in it again. And I've only got a limited amount of nuclear fuel. Okay, so back up here. Where were we? Alright. So I am going to dump all the stone I have into this chest here. And that should keep it going for a while. Okay, so we can do max rate on this pair. Okay, so we are down 2.8 stone furnaces for the furnace making assembler. So we need nearly 4 stone brick machines for one of these machines. And that's a really bad ratio. Right, where are we? What's happened there? Oh, something's bitten me. Never mind. They must have made it all the way through. I don't know if they were just a random roving party. Yeah, the pollution isn't extending out, so... No idea. So yeah, so I would need 3 of these for 1 of these, which seems to me not ideal. Let's just double check that. Okay, of course now it's not working because this decides it doesn't have a recipe because it's only got 1 stone left. Grief, this really does chew through stone, doesn't it? So the smelter is going to be very heavy on stone. So I think this is an argument for having it as a separate site. So we're going to have a separate stone smelting site from the furnace production just because it's going to chew through so much raw stone. And we need so many furnaces to support 1 furnace maker. Now, we should probably work out just how many furnace makers we need to support the production science. So production science takes 1 furnace and takes 14 seconds. Right, high tech here. Let's just do a high tech for comparison. Right, this takes 14 seconds and requires 1 battery. Okay, so if you remember, this is our battery build. We only needed a half build to produce more than enough batteries to run a 3K science setup. So actually this furnace build is going to be quite small. What we could do, since it's roughly 3-to-1, is we could have stone furnaces stacked 3 deep on one side of the build. Then on the other side we could have a single row of electric furnace makers. That would work. So we'd need to bring in 3 materials: stone, steel, and red circuits. It's kind of ugly. It's not quite what I would want to do, and the ratios don't work out precisely, so we're not going to be able to. We'll have a slight excess of furnaces of smelting of bricks if we do it that way. What else can we use bricks for? Well, bricks are used for early game paving, but we don't use it for late game. We use concrete for that. However, okay, if this was the size of the battery build, batteries take 5 seconds to make, I think. These take 5. Right, so that was the size of the battery build, but it's only 8 machines wide, and a furnace setup is going to be 13 machines wide. And although we're going to end up with roughly that scale of assemblers to make furnaces, I think we're going to end up with a full smelter needed to make the brick. So, all right, I've talked myself into it. We are going to do a bog standard furnace build. We are going to copy paste the iron one and then swap everything over to use stone instead. Then we're going to make a separate site for the assembly machines for making the furnaces. There we are, that's the whole site, I think. Let's keep the station names and then I will rename them as soon as they go down. And we'll see how smoothly we can build this. Right, I think what I'm going to do first of all is get rid of all my stations because I want to sort those out carefully. Right, for now we'll put them in the trash car. And of course the trash car I had a bit of stone. Oh, it's only 32, wouldn't have helped. Right, we'll drive around with this, because this has rails and things just in case I need them. Okay, this is relatively painless. Yep, that's worked. Right, can I park? No, I'm going to have to go backwards, I think, to park in there again. That's a bad place to park because it stops me getting any trains in to test this out. Right, back in the stacker. That's a better place to park. Okay, we can pull all this up because it's not needed. Actually, let's pull up this. We sort of need the other one. In fact, I'm going to take a blueprint of this and we will blueprint it with assembler for, yeah, assembler for furnaces. Then we can pull it up. Okay, and we had some train stops. Right, I'm going to change suits into one that doesn't have any drone ports. So this is my combat suit. Great. What I don't want to happen is for the logistics trains to come in. So I want to place them last. I also don't want to accidentally unload this train. So let's take it past there. Okay. I do want to place these because I want to rename them. Okay, so this is called iron smelting iron plates. So this is going to be called stone smelting stone bricks. And this is going to be called stone smelting stone. Great, there are no trains incoming. So now we can get on with building this monstrosity. I need chests. I need inserters of both kinds. I need furnaces. That's the first thing to be working on, I think. Okay. No! That's all gone very wrong. This is why I wanted to manage the all the way forward, all the way back. I wanted to manage the stations carefully to avoid exactly this kind of problem. Right, let's reverse the inserters, load the train back up. remember to put them back again afterwards. Okay, let's change suits now back into a building suit. And start spraying stuff down. Okay, so we need prod mods. And we will need lots and lots and lots of beacons. All the beacons. Really all the beacons. Okay, and all the rest of the beacons. Okay, so this train now can go. That's it. Let's put these back around the right way. Oh, I didn't empty these ones. Yeah, well, that's going to be ridiculous. I'll sort that out in a minute. Okay, so we need more beacons. And then we're going to need an embarrassment of... Ah, that's interesting. We seem to have... patchy power. Some places seem to be powered and some places seem not to. Let's have a look at the map and turn on power. Okay, not quite sure what's going on there. I think maybe we're missing a lot of power poles. Yeah, we are. Okay. So I think they're all in now. Do we have small power poles here? Yes, we do. So I think that's all the power poles. There we go. Keep one stack back just because, you know, it's good for the soul to have some. Then we'll start spamming these down. Look at that. I don't know how many hours of factory time that is, just thrown down on the floor. Okay. That's suspicious. No, we've got 36 speed modules left. Okay, that's good. So how are we going to sort out this problem with the ore? Do I have any cargo wagons on me? No, I don't. Otherwise I could just load up a train. Okay. Don't know if it's practical to do this by hand, but we'll have a look. Alright, let's change into my running suit. No, we've got more than will fit, haven't we? I hate these kind of mistakes. They're so painful to try and fix. While I'm here, let's grab one stack. Oh great, this is now going to try and smelt my iron. Maybe this is the solution. Smelt it into plate, get rid of it that way. Okay, so I don't have any of that annoying stuff on me anymore. It is now being smelted into plate, which is as good as anything to do with it. That should then be easier to pick up and ditch somewhere else. What I'm going to do is have a look in here, see if I have a couple of train carriages. Yeah, we have some train carriages. Okay. What I'm going to do is put down a train. Whoop. Am I out? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so then this train can go to Short Shed. And when I get around to it, that will then, yeah, that will disappear when I move this train out of the way. When I get around to it, this will then be recycled back at the main base. Okay, now let's start changing all this over. So this should not be requesting iron plate. This should be requesting brick. Brick stacks in 100 at a time. And we have 1,000 in a row, so 4,000 in a box. There we are. Okay, that's set to 4,000 per thingy. This is going to set when it drops below 4, when stone bricks drops below 4K. And this is going to reset when stone brick rises greater than or equal to 64K. Okay, this clock needs to be outputting stone brick, and that is this site done, I believe. All ready to go. So all we need now are the trains. So this is stone brick, this is stone. Sorry, I clicked on the, yeah. So what we need now is to figure out where we're going to bring in stone from. Let's look. So I'm reserving this quarter for the megabase build. I'm reserving this quarter unless there is a resource which I can't live without. I don't think there is. There are some sort of 20-25 mil patches. There's a 28 mil stone there, a 30 iron, 20 stone. I'm reserving this. I'm going to move the solar progressively down. Okay. There is a 30 mil stone there. Is there anything in this area? So there's the buried one there. Not looking in this for now. And then in here, do we have any stone? There's a 9 million stone there. Okay. And then as a last resort, is there a good stone within this area? There's a 31 stone there. That would mean bringing a line down though, and that would go right through the middle of builds, so that's not happening. So, I think this is the stone we're going to go for, and to get to that I'm going to have to run a rail track. Well, I'll extend this line downwards. Oh, there's a 29 million stone there just on the end, except it overlaps this bit of rail. I can kink this rail out of the way and then get this. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I don't think you need to watch me set up a stone outpost. I'll do that off camera. Next time we will do the build for the furnaces, now that we've done the brick. And until then, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.